In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 of the biggest reasons why you don't go to the gym and how you might be able to overcome these barriers. All right, so you're that person that's struggling to go to the gym, and here we're going to be talking about 3 reasons why that might be and potentially some of the ways we can overcome those barriers. But before we talk about that, those big reasons, I do want to clarify that these reasons are not necessarily excuses. For some people, that's on you if it's an excuse or not, but I don't know your situation, so I can only perceive this as a situation that's valid and therefore are reasons why you don't go to the gym. So those reasons are what we call barriers. And these barriers are in direct competition with your motivation to exercise. It could be a one-time occurrence, or it could be a multiple amount of occurrences that just impede your ability to hold or establish consistency. Now, these types of barriers could be in the form of physical barriers, psychological barriers, or environmental barriers. An example of a physical barrier would be that you're sick or are potentially injured. A psychological barrier would be just having a lack of knowledge of exercise or what it is that you're having to eat, what not to eat, and so on and so forth, or perhaps the lack of ability to self-regulate your energy. And the last one is the external barrier, which is perhaps maybe the gym being closed, or there's traffic, or that you got into an accident and you're not able to attend to the gym. Now, with that said, we're going to be focusing on the psychological barriers because these are the barriers that are mostly within our control. All right, so the very first biggest reason why we don't go to the gym is because of time. Again, remember, we're not talking about excuses here, that you're making excuses that you don't got time. We're going to talk about it in an objective way and perhaps help you find that solution that best suits you. So, excuse me. So in this case, we're talking about time. So we all share the same amount of time, right? 24 hours in a given day. But we all have different responsibilities and priorities, as well as the things that we most value. Naturally, what this ends up happening is we are now put in a position that we have to make a choice. Now, every one of us will experience challenge or perhaps an obstacle that will get in our way from attaining our goals. But in this case, it's time. And time is something that's within our control. However, like I said, it's a matter of how we choose to use time. How we choose to use time is what defines our outcomes. Now, a solution here is time management. I know that seems pretty much like an obvious statement. However, this is a skill. And this type of skill requires practice and consistency, multiple repetitions to form as habits. Everyone is different, so it's important to find out what works for you. To be effective with time management in the context of going to the gym is to have exceptional organizational skills and self-awareness of energy levels throughout the day. So time management might be perceived as having a structured time frame of what it is that you do on a daily basis and looking at what your slots are, in a given time and so on and so forth. However, how I'm going to go about it is a little different. I'm going to share with you some suggestions that I use for myself and find it to be very helpful. The first one here is to make a list. Get it all out of your head. Every single thing that it is that you have to do, get it out of your head and put it down in a list. It doesn't matter necessarily how important it is or the level of priority. Just get it out there. Just put it on paper. We'll go ahead and figure that out and how to organize it later on. But right now, just get it out of your head. What is this going to do? This is going to help self-regulate your energy. And in doing so, it's going to help you see things a little bit clearer and in a more objective manner. My daughter just creeped in and is doing what she does best. So I really hope you don't mind, little creature. Girl, you watching TV, man? Leave a man alone. You understand? I know you want me. Go watch your TV. Yeah, please, close the door. Thank you. My little girl is such a distraction, right? Talk about time management. You see what I'm saying? I have to find time after she eats. She's much more mellow and she's watching TV. And then that's when I can make videos and do my work. It's extremely difficult, guys. But you know what? It is what it is, and I love what I do, so I have to make it work. And that's essentially what I'm trying to share here, right? I'm letting you know that sometimes we have all these things that are occurring in our day that we always say immediately, we don't have time. But that's not the case, guys. We have to find a way to self-regulate our energy and find ways to make it happen. And that's why I'm sharing with you here some solutions. So we're going to get right into that. The first thing, like I said, right, is get it all out there. Write it down. Get it all on paper. The next thing is for your biggest priorities, if possible, go ahead and get that done in the day. If you wake up at 06, get up at 04, get your PT in and get some. get it done for the day. And the next thing you know, the rest of your day has this motivation and energy that goes with it in a positive direction towards everything else you do, whether it be at work, relationships, or just in general, your performances. I think that's something that I've recognized, like, hey, if I have to work at 06 or be at work at 08, whatever the commute time is, and I used to do this back in Barstow when I worked for Fort Irwin in the military base. I would have to be there at work at 08. My commute time was an hour long, and we're talking like in the middle of the nowhere, a desert. If you know Barstow, you know what I'm talking about. But the point is, do the hardest things first. The perceived hardest, most difficult tasks, do that first, any point in time in the day, and get it over with. Get that check mark in and move on. And finally, avoid energy and time drainers. I'm talking like social media. I'm talking about binge watching TV. If it's not, guys, look, I understand that social media and entertainment, watching TV is fun. From time to time, in fact, I do it every night. I have it scheduled in my evenings every night at a certain time, at least for 2 hours of watching TV with my best friend. We sit there, we eat popcorn, which we track. We keep it in our calories. We track it and we watch our shows. Why? Well, because it's our way to bond. Given our time schedules, completely different. It's our time to bond. Baby's asleep. It's our chance to just like, you know what? Let's watch something and talk about it the next day and just have something to talk about throughout the day, right? Or during our walk. So that's how we manage it. But if you're just sitting there binge watching TV on your phone throughout the day when you could be doing other things that are more productive for you, let me just go ahead and tell you that these things add up over time. And the next thing you know it, you're going to tell yourself you don't have time, when in reality, you're just wasting valuable time. Remember, social media or things like freaking watching TV or going on YouTube. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm hoping maybe this content is actually valuable. And if it is, do me a favor, hit the like button and share it. But if you're watching non-productive content and things that are just more for entertainment, keep in mind you are wasting time, because whatever it is that you're doing is not adding value to your goals. All right. So the second biggest reasons why you don't go to the gym is because you're setting unrealistic goals. We've all been there, right? We try to go hardcore on our diet. We either go keto diet. I know some of you have done that. We eat basically leaves throughout the day, or go become vegetarians, or we all have this high hopes of losing like 20 pounds in 7 days, because I get it, right? We all want it now. We all want the results now. However, it's just not realistic nor healthy. I have tried and heard and seen some crazy things, but like I said, right, it's unrealistic, it's not attainable, and what ends up happening is that we start feeling defeated. We start having a lower self-esteem, our level of competence of what it is that we're doing, or perceive the knowledge that's being projected to us. We start questioning our ability to comprehend it, and therefore we're going to be like, you know what, I really don't understand it, and therefore I'm not going to do it, which is also why it gets in our way from wanting to go to the gym. Remember what I said earlier, right? This barrier, particularly setting unrealistic goals, is that type of barrier that interferes with our motivation to exercise, because we're having now to compete on this idea of, hey, can I follow a diet that can help me reach my goal? However, if we don't know how to set a realistic goal, then more than likely we're not going to be wanting to go to the gym because our motivation has declined. So some solutions here that I have for you for setting realistic goals is to start with some basic self-awareness. All right, first one being here is know your ability. Know your current skill sets and your level of self-confidence. Essentially, what we're doing here is know where you are now. The next one is having clarity and specificity of the goal. Where is it that you want to be? And the intensity and direction, which is essentially motivation. What drives you? Having those three things in mind will help you at least get started on establishing a realistic goal. So to ensure that we attain our goals, we have to be flexible. Going after what it is that we want will never be perfect. It's never a linear direction towards achieving goals or meeting your exact deadline. Sometimes it could be zigzagging or that you're slightly off. But hey, if you are zigzagging or are slightly off, just make sure it's happening in your intended direction, or perhaps at least landing you near your target. So if you want to go to the gym to get stronger, to lose weight, or to feel better overall, know that it's going to take time. Go to the gym with a goal in mind, something that is attainable, and focus on one set and rep at a time. If you're doing cardio, just go straight to the machine, start slow, build that momentum up, and hit your target caloric burn for the day. And sometimes, I understand that cardio could be boring on a machine. Prepare ahead. Bring something that's fun to listen to, perhaps watch my videos that can help pass some time, or something like it to and give you more enthusiasm for your day, to add value, nothing that distracts you. All right, so the third biggest reason why you're not going to the gym is because you lack the social support. Guys, I get it. Personally, I don't really see myself needing or requiring social support. However, for some that are out there, perhaps you, I could totally understand that you might feel that this is the most important thing to you, because I've had many clients depend on me to get them to where they need to be. And I totally understand and relate on the importance, because for you, those individuals thrive greatly when they have the right support system. So to be clear though, we need to understand what social support means. Social support is where people assist you in achieving the desired behavior. People who know your goals are willing to add value towards your pursuits. So a solution here would be to find out the support that you need and stick with it. So this could be in forms of encouragement from friends and family to help you hold that diet and exercise routine that you got going on, venting or reducing stress by talking to someone you can trust about the challenges of fitness and lifestyle changes. Essentially what we're doing here is normalizing. A next possible solution here would be getting a ride to and from the gym, because some of us don't always have a vehicle to get around, but having that person to get us to point A to point B can be very helpful, right? Talk about social support. The next one is another big one, right? Getting a babysitter if you have a child like myself. I have my daughter here that we switch, my fiance and I switch schedules. She goes to work, I stay home, and when she does stay at home, work from home, and I work from home, but when we switch out those schedules, I go to the gym, or if she's at home sleeping, I go to the gym way early before she wakes up, or after her getting home from work. So I got to find ways to work around that schedule. But essentially it's like, hey man, some of you might not have that type of person in your life or need having that support system. So it's important to get someone to watch your child. And I know how difficult, I know me for sure, man, it is difficult to find someone you can trust. So that's something I'm emphasizing here, is like to find someone you can trust that can watch your child. I think also some gyms are opening now with childcare. So consider going to a gym that offers that as well. Another common one here for social support is having an exercise partner or participating in group classes. That's one way for people to go and build that connection with other people, because some people just like to be around others and have good company. And finally, of course, is a no-brainer in my eyes, is to get a trainer, man. You know what I'm saying? Trainers are going to be able to keep you accountable, remove that mental overload and confusion of what to eat, what not to eat, what to do and what not to do in the gym, so on and so forth. But ultimately to support you. We can really all achieve some amazing things on our own, but it's even much powerful and greater when we have the right support system. It's up to you to recognize the type of support that you need for that desired behavior. All right, so we covered a lot. We covered the 3 biggest reasons why you don't go to the gym, and potentially some solutions that can help you overcome these barriers. Now, in summary, I do want to emphasize here that the reasons why you don't go to the gym, again, they're not excuses. I don't know your situation. I can't claim or assume that they're excuses, right? I can only say that these are barriers, and it's up to you to decide as to whether or not you are making an excuse or if this is a legit barrier that you're experiencing in your life. So barriers are in direct competition with our motivation and is the driving force for us to take action. These barriers come in physical, psychological, or environmental forms. The 3 common psychological barriers towards hitting the gym and their possible solutions are time, which is solution, time management. Unrealistic goals, solution, set realistic and attainable goals. Lack of social support, solution, do group classes, have a training buddy, or if possible, and again, in my opinion, the best solution here is to hire yourself a trainer. That concludes this video, guys. Thanks so much for taking the time and watching this video through its entirety. I truly appreciate your time and the support. And truthfully, honestly, I do appreciate that you're willing to watch this, because what you're demonstrating is a desire to do better and be better. And that's something a lot of people just don't ever get to acknowledge. So let me be that guy to tell you, yo, you're doing great. I appreciate you taking the time to want to find ways to enhance yourself and to live a better, more colorful, more enthusiastic and invigorating life. I really hope that this video encourages you to have more control over your life and to test your inner iron. If you know someone who can benefit from this video or channel, share it. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. But till then, train intentionally with maximum effort, and be one with the iron. All I could do is try. And when I say try, I have the knowledge, I have the skill sets, the confidence, all I need to do great things. The problem is, it's like, man, I really want to do it well. And if my viewers are watching, you know, I'm not scared of my viewers in a sense. It's more of like, they deserve the best, man. So that's why I struggle sometimes. Let me slow my roll.